Hey guys, I have wanted to film this video for a really long time, but I just haven't felt up to it, and I'm just gonna get it done. But this video is going to be all about my experience with Cytotec for a miscarriage. So a lot of you who have seen any of my videos before know what we have been through so far with trying to grow our family. I've had a total of 5 miscarriages, and the first 4 I actually had surgeries to, take care of that, which sounds really bad, but I really don't know how else to explain it. Plus, I didn't really think about what I was going to say in this video. I'm just going to wing it. So I did have 4 surgeries, D&Cs, after each of the first 4 miscarriages. The first 2 were because I was too scared and nervous to have to go through it naturally on my own. And also, it can take a long time for it to happen on its own. You don't know whether it's going to happen within weeks or, days. And I mean, I could have just been at work and it started happening. And so it kind of freaked me out a little bit to have that happen. Sorry, the dogs are being really loud in the background. They love water bottles more than they love toys, and so that crunching sound is a water bottle that they're chewing and playing with. So sorry about that. Hopefully they'll get over it and do something else right now. But so I had the surgeries the first 2 times because of that. I didn't want to have it happen unexpectedly. And then the second 2 times, so I guess that would be the 3rd and 4th time, I ended up having the surgeries because we sent they call it products of conception, but it's basically the babies. Hold please, let me take care of these crazy dogs. Okay, I think they'll be good now, but we'll see. So the 3rd and 4th times, we sent the babies for genetic testing to see if that was what was causing the miscarriages. And both of them came back genetically perfect, little boys actually. They do a gender test as well. So they were both genetically perfect little boys, so we ruled that out as a cause for the miscarriages. So this most recent time, the 5th time, I decided not to have surgery because the fertility specialist told me that having too many of those surgeries is not good for you, and it can cause problems if later on down the line I can ever stay pregnant. It can kind of increase the chance of early labor, things like that, and so I just decided I'm not going to have any more surgeries. So if we try to get pregnant again from here, it'll either happen naturally, or if I decide to use the Cytotec again, I just for sure won't be having any more surgeries. So the 5th time, I told the doctor that I was nervous about having to wait for it to happen, and so that's when he told us about the Cytotec option, which is a medicine that is used to kind of start the process so that you don't have to wait for it to happen. It just kind of induces it, and it's pretty much like inducing labor. So I followed the instructions. I had taken a couple of days off of work, and incidentally, it happened to be the same weekend that we were going camping with Josue's family. So my husband's family, we were planning to go camping. I don't know why I decided to still go camping that weekend, but I think it was because I didn't want to be stuck in the house, and while everybody was going to be having a fun weekend, just, moping around and being sad, and I felt bad, asking my husband not to go, and so we just decided to go. So it was Thursday when I took the Cytotec. There are 2 doses, I think, 2 or 3 doses, but I did what it said, and then at first it didn't feel like it was doing anything, and then it kind of slapped me in the face because I had the worst cramps of my entire life. of course, got the doctor to give me some pain medication because I'm pretty sure I knew I was probably going to need it. And so it started hurting really bad. And so I took the medicine. It made me kind of sleepy. But after that is when the bleeding came. And so just as a warning, this video is going to be super detailed and graphic. I will put a picture here that's going to probably blow your mind. If you've ever been through something like this before, or even if you've had a child before, it might not be so scary and crazy. But just as a warning right now, if that's going to freak you out, then you should just stop watching because it's coming. So I started bleeding. It started kind of light, and then it just went crazy, and it made me really nervous because I didn't even know that it was safe to lose that much blood. I researched online that a lot of people, their experience is that they lose so much blood that they start to feel faint and things like that. And so I kind of expected a little bit like that, but at the same time, once it starts happening, you're just like, oh my gosh, this seems like a lot of blood. So I went and bought like the thickest overnight pads ever, and I didn't exceed the amount that they said is, like you need to go to the emergency room. So, I mean, I actually wasn't even keeping track that closely, but I felt okay. It was just really freaky to see that much blood come out of your body. So then in the middle of the night, so this was going on for hours and hours, just bleeding, cramping, basically miserable. But in the middle of the night, and we hadn't left for camping yet, but in the middle of the night, there was a huge clot that came out, and I could kind of feel it before it came out, and I'm thinking that it was probably the placenta, but it was huge. It freaked me out really bad, but it was pretty much the size of my hand, so not just my palm. I have a picture of it, so that's the picture that I'm going to show you, and it's really gross, but it's pretty big. So I'm going to put that picture at the end, so in case you want to keep watching, but you don't want to see that kind of in the middle of the video, I'll put that picture at the end so you can see it, but it was pretty big. Like I said, if you've had a baby before, and we pretty much know what it looks like, so but for me, I had never had a baby before. I mean, I've seen pictures of it online, but it came out of me. So obviously I was a little bit more traumatized, even though I have seen stuff like that before. And then after that, I thought that everything had come out. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I had called the doctor to try to get some information for, like, how do I know when it's really done? Because after that, the bleeding kind of slowed down, and I thought I was good to go. I thought that everything was done. But then, I was still cramping and still bleeding lightly, so I was just like, okay, whatever. But they gave me some other medication that was supposed to contract the uterus. I don't even know if that's the right word, or like tighten it or something, so that it would stop bleeding. And so I took that medication. We left for camping. Of course, I was miserable because of what was going on, but at least I was out of the house and I was around people who cared. And since I've been really open about everything, people knew what was going on. They tried to cheer me up, which sometimes helps and sometimes is just really annoying. But for the most part, I just stayed in the tent the whole time. And it ended up being cut short just because it was raining and we had our puppy with us, and it was just kind of hectic. But on Sunday, so this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that it's going on, I'm still bleeding, but not very heavy. But on Sunday, I think it was Sunday, it might have been Saturday, I'm not sure, I don't really remember anymore, but whatever day it was that we ended up leaving the campsite, I went to the campsite restroom, and I felt like something else was coming out, and it was the baby. So I didn't know what to do, honestly. I was by myself. I didn't have my phone. I was in this random campsite bathroom in Zion National Park, and it came out. And I knew what it was because when I researched afterward, and I thought maybe I just missed it or like earlier along in the process, but it was the gestational sac, and it was kind of grayish. And I just lost it. I mean, I was sitting in the bathroom by myself, no phone, just crying, praying, like, this can't be happening to me for another time, for the fifth time. Even though it was the first time that I had actually gone through it naturally before and seen things come out and feel it, like, labor pains basically. And I even told my husband, if I can ever stay pregnant and go through labor and I say I don't want an epidural, just slap me because I'm wrong. That's how bad it hurt. Like, I was doubled over. I couldn't walk. But after the gestational sac came out, like I said, I sat there crying, and then I didn't really know what to do after that. So basically, I mean, I don't really want to go into too much detail after that, but finally I pulled it together, walked out of the bathroom, we finished packing up, and we left to come home. So overall, the experience was definitely traumatic. I don't think there's anything that can really prepare you for it if you haven't been through it before, as far as how much blood to expect and, like, just, I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't think there was anything that could have prepared me. Everything I read online wasn't enough. It was not something that I would ever wish on anyone. And so pretty much I wanted to share my experience because if anyone is considering taking Cytotec for a miscarriage, or, I don't know, just so that you'll have someone's experience, and mine might be totally different than anyone else's, but I just wanted to share it because that's pretty much where I get my information. Is I will Google it, or I'll YouTube videos of other people who have gone through things, and so I just thought that I would share it because I've been open with everything, and honestly, it helps me to get it out, but I'm not really, like, ashamed of anything. I'm not really embarrassed at this point. I mean, I've always been pretty open, but right now I'm pretty much just an open book. I don't know if that makes me weird, but I just wanted to share it, and so I'm hoping it helps anybody. And so now I'm going to post the picture of the big clot that came out. I think it was a placenta, but I don't know. So if you're squeamish, if you don't want to see it, I would stop the video right now, click your back button, go, adios.